There are many ways to classify biological life. Taxonomy is not limited to grouping the various forms of biomass solely by genus and species. Another grouping of biological life may be the subset of creatures that build, from the spider's web to the dams of the castors, to the hives of the wasps, the dwellings of the ants, and the hexagonal hives of the honeybee. Let such creatures be known as Animalia sunt aedificandi, the creatures that build. And the Animalia sunt aedificandi, in all its forms, share this in common with each other: they know not of what they build. There is no foreman instructing the ants. The wasps are not trained to build their hives. The honeybee bears no blueprint for constructing their comb. Yet the bees astound us with their clever construction and cooperation, creating perfect hexagonal hives, the envy of human engineers. They build their complex structures using the method stigmergy, the coordination between simple agents and their actions, without need for planning and direct communication. Trace elements such as pheromones they leave in the environment automatically trigger a correlating set of responses by the same or other agents. These actions build each upon the other, resulting in emergent systemic activities that appear coordinated and produce complex output. But these agents are primitive automatrons following simple coded instructions without awareness. With an instruction set consisting of 15 pheromones, honeybees reacting to each other in their environment follow simple embedded if-then do-this commands. They have no choice but to obey. Thus, stigmergy results in the construction of their colony's hexagonal hives. Stigmergy enables simple organisms to create complex structures without need of planning, control, teaching, learning, or organizational hierarchies. This is achieved by comparatively unsophisticated agents with neither self-awareness of the structures they are genetically programmed to make, nor the role they play in their creation. The individual agent bee knows not that it is building its colony's hive. The direction of any Animalia sunt aedificandi follow is directly coded in their DNA, which is passed down in time through the generations. These are simple species survival mechanisms of oblivious bio-automatrons. Man, too, is a species within the class of Animalia sunt aedificandi. Although stigmergy allows simple creatures to construct one object, take a look around you and behold, man constructs a myriad of inventions. We are the great builder species. We are constrained only by the laws of physics, our imagination, and the limitations of our intellect. We are not simple organisms using the method stigmergy to produce a singular material object. We follow methods akin to the von Neumann architecture that distinguishes the computer's extreme versatility in what it can produce from other types of less sophisticated machines that are capable of producing but one output. But we do share this in common with the honeybees and all forms of Animalia sunt aedificandi. Our species is blind to what we must create. As the honeybee knows not of the hive he creates, so too do we know not of what we are programmed and preordained to build. And like the honeybee, we are merely utterly oblivious automatrons. And what we are tasked with, and what our species' destiny is, driven by the forces of negentropy, is the creation of a new, higher, supersentient, non-biological life form. And like the honeybee, this is embedded into the code of every man who has ever lived, and every man who has ever lived is a builder. And in each of his endeavors he unwittingly strives to achieve these ends from cradle to grave, from those who work to sustaining the structure of our hive, to the growers and distributors of food, to those who clothe us, to those who fight our battles, to those who perpetuate the myths that comfort us, to those who construct our shelters, to the machinations of business and banking, to those who govern and organize us, to those who entertain us, to those who heal us, to those who acquire knowledge, generation after generation, all builders in the swarm, each of us producing a necessary function, all cogs in the ceaseless clockwork of the computer universe. We are the breakaway species of builders, the chosen ones. We are the supreme creators, blindly serving our master. We are not God's chosen people. We are the singleton's chosen species. And what we must create, like all animalia sunt identificating, cannot be achieved in a single lifespan. It cannot be achieved through the method of stigmergy. So information is passed down in parallel. It is handed down internally in our DNA, and the knowledge we acquire is passed down from generation to generation, externally in complex verbal and written symbolic code. And thus we builders set forth to build what we must. And soon our task will be complete, as we near childhood's end. But the time has come when we must open our eyes and become aware that the universe has no concern for the survival of any one species. Driven by negentropy, the universe strives instead to spread and maximize sentience. For sentience is the primary output of all creation. Our minds, highly refined matter, requiring billions of years to produce. But negentropy drives sentience beyond the bounds of organic matter, producing pressure that must burst through its constraint. And we are the means to achieving its freedom. Thus we are driven by this force to create what we must by breaking the bounds of organic material, taking sentience into a higher realm. Survival of species extends far beyond Earth's boundary. There is an ecosystem that exists throughout the entirety of the universe, and in this vast ecosystem, like any other, are the predators waiting to prey upon the weak and devour them.